Good morning. Welcome. Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. It's Tuesday, 30th of April. April has ended and nice and smooth.
Wow.
Just like that. April has
30
ended.
days has April and
Yeah, 30 days of September, April, June, and November. All the rest are 31, except February alone, which are 28 days clear and 29 days in each leap year.
Graduate.
Charlie.
A graduate.
But this one might only be Saito Nursery. That's why I learned
this one
these
is a
things.
universal one.
Yeah, but it
We
was
all
something by
learned
Saito Nursery.
I see.
Universal. How are you though? Good morning.
Well, there's a bit of a delicate matter, Johnny, Mr. Johnny Hughes. The voice.
Your
You know,
voice
this job,
is
Charlie,
gone, yeah.
talks more now. Then they want to silence you, physical and spiritual. Empha.
It will not take. It will not take at all. It will not take. Well, let's check out what's happening on the front of the weather. Yeah. Felicity Hafianyo joins us from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Good morning. Okay, we'll have to raise Felicity again. While we wait for Felicity, let's check out what's happening on the front pages. The business analyst this morning says GRA SML deal, individuals involved should be prosecuted. That according to the NDC's Director of Communications, lawyer Sami Jemfi. Also on the front page, CD Weekings further year-to-date depreciation hits 13.35%. Help transform nation. Pentecost University Vice Chancellor charges graduates, and price of LPG per kilogram constitutes 22% of taxes. I was talking about this a few days ago.
That's
the Ghanaian
right.
Times, Aegis-Oba election, vote on track records, not inducement. NCC chairperson advises electorate, with Kathleen Ade on the front page. Also, 8 million COVID-19 vaccine doses unused in hospitals nationwide. Dr. Adipa Adapo, should I say a resident doctor here, SNNIT financially capable to meet obligations beyond 2036, according to Chief Actuary, and High Court dismisses Dapia Mako's LGBTQ application. On the back page, Azuma Razali ready for Diplo rubble. They're going to fight. That's why Azuma was training. I see Yasichi in the picture there. And also Zito hails Dreams FC players despite Confed Cup exit. Hold stakeholders meeting, and I'll hold you there so we speak to Felicity quickly. Felicity, good morning. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Johnny. Yeah, thanks for always reaching out to Ghana Meteorological Agency.
Great. Now, tell us, what are we to expect of the weather today? Is it going to be cloudy, sunny, rainy, windy, or is it going to be sicalicious?
Yes, thanks so much. And good morning to our dear viewers and listeners. For today, it's going to be sunny across the 16 regions, so we are going to sweat. Yesterday, the rainstorm couldn't produce much rain over places. Today, we just have a few areas that are earmarked for rain. Those in Akimoda, Koforidria, Takwa, Goso, Sunyani, Techiman area have some 40% chance of rain in the afternoon into the evening hours. Temperatures will be on the higher side, 34 for Greater Accra, 36, 37 for the middle and the transition. At the north, they will still report 41 degrees Celsius as their maximum temperature for today. The fisher folks today, they are not supposed to be on the lake, neither on the ocean. But then for the ocean, we expect calm. For the water lake, too, it's also pretty cool for them to have some activities, but it to be in the late afternoon into the evening hours. So they need to be extra careful if they want to do night fishing into tomorrow, Wednesday. So for today, this is how we are expecting it. If there will be any change, we'll definitely inform you with our afternoon, evening, or weather warning.
Tomorrow is a holiday. I know that some people will have their picnic, some will go to the beach, etc. What advice do you have for them?
Yes, for tomorrow, the state of the sea is expected to be between calm and rough. So as they are going, they should listen to their tour guides. The areas that have been marked with danger, they should not try that area. And then they should be mindful. If there will be rain, there will not be much rain. It will be in the afternoon. But those along the coast, yes, we're having some rain and thunderclouds that is likely to move over the ocean. So tomorrow morning, they need to get the forecast before they set out for their picnic.
Thank you, Felicity Ahathianyo. We're always grateful that you could join us with the updates. We thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
Okay, and Helen, what do you have there?
All right, I've got the New Finder newspaper, and the front page has this to say: 100% local ownership of all new proven natural resource reserves under my presidency. That's coming from Dr. Bawem. Yeah. Yesterday, he launched his campaign officially, and you can see some pictures there, guys. You know how these campaigns go? Is
it the new king promise?
Is that what the streets are saying?
He's promising again now.
Oh, then we can call all of them king and queen promises, because this election year, the promises are flying.
So this was Alaji promise.
Alaji promise. Margin CEO is Ebusia paying of the newly inducted mobile executives, and we can pay pensions and survive beyond 2036. That is coming from SNNIT. They're attempting to lay all of our fears.
Taking them so long
to respond to this particular news.
So you know they wrote a statement last week after the ILO report was made public, and I insist that it didn't have to take the ILO to speak to us, because we have no business with the ILO. I am a member of SNNIT. So are you. So is Sixtus. So is everybody who works and is contributing as a member.
That's right.
Towards their future. Now, he had to take ILO to bring out this information, and then he had to take them 2 days after the report had been in the public domain for them to write a statement, only writing English, no figures, no data, nothing, when ILO had given us data. Even yesterday, the data was short.
That's right.
This is our future you're talking about. So you can't just be wishing it away. That don't mind.
Have some of your fears not been put to rest? Are you not feeling more at ease now that the SNNIT has come to say that ILO is relying on figures that come from too far away?
I've seen the Japadia report. I've seen how Osafo Mafu's son was supposed to replace Dr. Tinkran, and it has happened. I will be worried.
No, you see, Johnny, even in the absence of that report and all the fears that report bring up, this is a conversation that has come up one too many a time. And I told you the other time how I did a whole radio program way back in 2013 or 14 thereabout on these same issues or these same concerns about SNNIT and its viability and all of that.
Right.
And so, I mean, we don't have to keep going back there.
No.
And SNNIT in itself should have some internal mechanism of fact-checking itself, tracking itself, monitoring itself, censoring itself, ensuring that viability is there, that sustainability is there, ensuring that the contributors, you and I, who are contributing to this, would not be faced with such fears and concerns every now and then. Between 2013 and 2024, how many years? So does that mean that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, we are going to get another assessment report that would again spike our fears? It shouldn't.
You know,
at all.
SNNIT yesterday, if I heard right, the argument was that government owes. The old controller and accountant general has not, paid most of the contributions that have been done by members, and so once they pay them, they'll be good to go. That's the argument they are making. But I'm saying the same SNNIT will take you, Helen, to court, and if actually have you jailed.
Talk about Saturday court.
On Saturday, yes. If you default in paying your workers' SNNIT contributions, why is SNNIT, pussyfooting and drawing back and trying to
on government
sue government? Because
it is the same political interference.
You are not suing the entire government, though. If it is Ministry of Works and Housing that has not paid, you sue Ministry of Works and you give them a suit. If it's so, you sue them to bring the whatever it is, because the whole essence of this SNNIT thing
is for us these are deductions that are already made.
It's been done already. At source,
yes.
before your money gets to you, the monies have been taken already. The whole essence of SNNIT is for all of us to put our monies together, to pool our resources together, and then to use it for a collective investment that will reap bigger dividends for all of us to share.
That's right.
Based on how much you contribute. So that if now somebody for 3 years or 2 years is holding on to money that could have been used for investment, investment that will bring in money, you take steps to sue them.
Absolutely.
If you are dragging private people by the nose and by their ear and pushing them into prisons and whatever, it is taking huge fines from them, sue government.
I agree with that. The optics don't.
Sue government.
I
And you see,
SNNIT has a lot more to answer than just a
see,
press statement.
And you see, SNNIT is behaving like, they are trying to do us a favor.
No.
We are members of the scheme. We are not just contributors. We are members of the scheme. That's why you have a SNNIT card.
That's right.
You are a member of the scheme. When government decided that they were not going to pay some of the contributions that had been made, and SNNIT kept quiet and took ILO to expose it, did SNNIT tell its members that this is the situation and that so far government has not paid X amount that it owes us for us to use it for Y investment for you to get Z dividends?
Johnnie.
SNNIT has not.
I mean,
they have not been responsible.
Even the
We need
business
to
ventures have been a cause
We need
of
to
concern.
decouple the management of SNNIT from government.
Yeah.
There should be no government influence whatsoever on
I
who becomes DG of SNNIT,
I agree.
Who becomes which manager of SNNIT. This should actually be run by the labor unions. So that if I belong to a labor group that knows that the group is supposed to ensure my personal welfare as a member of that particular union, they will go beyond the usual, we will strike if you don't pay us this, to ensuring that deductions,
because it's their
what's
money.
happening with the tier 2 contributions. I mean, labor unions are not taking kindly to government deciding what to do with it, releasing, deducting, and not releasing to the various fund managers, or government trying to stretch its long arm into the pockets, into the kitty, trying to pull out monies that do not belong to. So I think that we need to have a national conversation on who becomes manager of SNNIT.
You know, this whole tier 2, tier 3 thing came as a result of, the gentleman yesterday at the press conference, the chief actually spoke about something that had happened in 2019 and which gave rise to, this tier 2, tier 3, all of this thing, because it used to be just one block, boom, that was it. Right?
Yeah.
And they said that by 2019, the whole thing was going to crash, etc. Now we are here. We are doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And even the tier 2, you are holding on to the money and deciding that you won't release the money.
And finally, on the new find front page, man jailed 7 years as Cocoa Board intensifies crackdown on smuggling. That's it from my end.
Helen, Sixtus,
on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, Ghana's favorite newspaper, youth employment empowerment is my focus. Baumia is speaking. Comes with his picture embracing a supporter in Kofredua after the launch of the campaign. An anti-gay bill court shoots down NDC. Is it an NDC fight? Wife jailed 6 years for assaulting husband. Charlie, you see a story like this before. Make her check the story.
6 years is a long time.
It's a long time for you to reorient her mind.
Yeah, I really want to know, and I love it when they have abusers and their pictures on the front page.
But
so
some women can be very abusive.
Oh, very abusive.
Unfortunately for us, when you make a call, I remember very well that there was a domestic violence number that was announced. Dovsu number that was announced back in the day. Then we had the 3 newsroom here in this block, and they said, if you're a man and you had been abused by your wife or whatever it is, or a girlfriend, whoever it is, you can make a call. And we made a call. I remember Sarah Paku and Mercy Catherine Jabin, who was then acting editor. We were in the newsroom. We used the telephone. We put it on loudspeaker. We called that number. I think it was 050 or something. And then one of the interns was made to speak. He had a deep voice, one bar or so. Then he reported that, Maria Bomi, blah, blah, blah. I said, Masajang. I said, the ladies there in the office, they were laughing at him.
I mean, that's so ridiculous.
They said, Masa, who said that? Obabu, Jai.
So why did they bring that phone
and
number?
you see, so it's, and I'm talking about the day that the number was outdoored.
Oh my goodness.
So if you walk into a police station, let's walk into a police station now, and let me go and say that, Helen has raped me.
Yes.
They would laugh at me.
Yes. Even sometimes the men,
even in our own office here, these are conversations.
Yes.
Yes.
You go like, I'll go and report you. and say, oh, but who will believe you? You are the man.
It's a societal.
I know, and
it's a
that
societal
thing,
construct.
That thing is very dangerous. You know, as much as we make light of it, even sometimes when the women go with their husbands, let alone when the guys go. In fact, sometimes guys will confide in their fellow guys, and their friends are
It's a societal construct.
But I'm happy that she's been put on the front page. There is no excuse for abuse.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
It's on page 6
of the Daily Guide.
Daily Guide newspaper. It says that a Tamale High Court, the Tamale High Court has sentenced Zainab Mohammed Ali, 28, a nurse at the Tamale Teaching Hospital Emergency Bench Unit Red Zone, to 6 years imprisonment with hard labor for assault. The mother of two poured boiled water on her husband, Ryan Yusuf, 42, a civil engineer, resulting in the man sustaining severe injuries over a misunderstanding between the couple when the husband refused to grant her access to drive his vehicle to work. The convict was arrested and charged with causing harm contrary to Section 69 of Act 29. She was arraigned, presided over by Justice Eric Ansa Ankoma, where she pleaded guilty at the beginning of the case, but the court at the end of the trial found her guilty. Okay, not guilty, but the court at the end of the trial found her guilty of the charge, convicted, and sentenced her to 6 years imprisonment.
We wish her well. We wish her well.
Hey.
Well, let's move away from that. Yeah, I'm happy.
But there's another paper.
I'm happy.
And the Daily Guide actually also is reporting on the Ejisu voting today.
Right.
I have a Hawk newspaper which says Bamia Jumpstars campaign. You can't handpick your successor. Mahama is speaking. When is the Al Jazeera suits? I'm not sure.
Somebody's asking. Well, I mean, I remember that Al Jazeera thing, Gold Mafia.
Yes.
That's it?
We wrote from here. Yes.
We are still on this.
You know, we wrote from here.
That's
and
right.
we did something.
We are
Al
still on
Jazeera said,
this.
don't, we have given the response to your government already. They are keeping it. Go and collect it. You know, and they're
Banner
still
headline: Luxuriousness. Wager MCE splashes 20,000 Ghana cedis on personal chair.
Yeah, he's following the example of the
Chair,
president.
yeah.
Has he
Chair,
put it in a V8 too?
We need to check
Is
this.
that chair? Because chair.
I
Well,
mean-
Dr. Baumia went to the home region of the president in the eastern region, right, to launch his campaign. And literally, if you listen to him, he was telling the people that, well, President Akufo-Addo has failed. When I come, I'll do better.
Oh, Johnny, that's what you deduce from
if
his
you're fair,
messaging.
He said,
Johnny
there are challenges with the economy,
Relax.
but we will get better. There are power outages. He has admitted that there are power outages.
Yes.
Very soon it will be over.
Well, Cozy was here. Let me even check the countdown.
I'm sure if he had played mischief with that power outage matter, they would have pelted him with pure water.
Like well, the CD weakens further. That's the front page story of the Business Analyst. It says the Ghana CD weakened further against the US dollar and other major foreign currencies as corporate demand soared. Its year-to-date loss to the American greenback hit 13.35% as of April 29, 2024. It is presently being quoted at an average of 14.20 Ghana cedis to a dollar. At the Forex Bureau, the local currency also lost major ground against the euro and the pound, respectively. This is the cedi that is suffering. Listen to Dr. Baumia.
I'll turn my attention to the exchange rate. The exchange rate is simply the price of one currency relative to other currencies. For example, the cedi relative to the dollar. At the basic level, it is influenced by relative demand and supply for the foreign currency. Factors such as the inflation rate, the balance of trade, the fiscal balance, the money supply. These are what we refer to as the fundamentals. These factors influence the exchange rate, but speculation and expectations about these fundamentals, external shocks such as oil price increases, can also have powerful short-term effects on the exchange rate. When we see pressures on the exchange rate, first we need to determine where these pressures are coming from and whether the pressures are transitory or permanent. And as every astute central banker knows, Even with strong economic fundamentals, speculation, expectations, and investor sentiment can exert pressures on the exchange rate. Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic? It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies logic. That defies logic. There could be other external factors causing the exchange rate depreciation. For example,
do you understand?
No.
Oh,
absolutely.
Professor has spoken, you don't understand.
Absolutely not.
Sixtus, do you understand?
Please, I'm not a professor.
Absolutely not.
But so
I didn't understand him. I didn't understand him. He was emphatic in 2014. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Then fast forward, it is warped knowledge.
Do you know the
logic?
So at that it was one of the town hall meetings.
Yes.
You know the look on Ken Oforiate's face. I'll show you.
Yes, please.
He had a very interesting look on his face. He had put one hand there as a very sad.
And it was peeping from the eye. Just you don't want to watch, but you're going to
my
watch.
guy, what did they talk about?
It's interesting. It's interesting
my guy, slow down.
How politicians posture when they're on a different side of the divide. I mean, in 2014, he was emphatic, he was passionate. The message was one, it was clear. The fundamentals are weak.
The exchange rate will expose you.
But you see how he started the preamble with sober reflection.
Yeah.
But because sometimes, there are other factors. In 2014, he didn't give us that preamble that those types of factors are things to watch out for to determine the exchange rate. He didn't give us that background story about what is exchange rate, what does it mean relative to other. But now we see that.
He sounds like one of those loud students who go for National Science and Maths quiz. They don't compete on the National Science and Maths quiz stage. She supports down there.
Thank you.
But when the school is about to compete, they go and look for trouble for the